I'm just going to go ahead and get going because I don't know what's going on with my Facebook for some reason. Maybe it's the internet because it is raining and really gross outside. But we're just going to go ahead and give this a whirl. But anyways, my name is Nataushia. A lot of people know me as the CD Cardio Queen. I'm just going to go on as if the internet is normal, even though it is not. But anyways, this is Modified Monday. I'm going to be doing all of my easiest, most modified exercises. And then there's absolutely no leg engagement at all. So you are 100% going to be able to do these kinds of workouts because they're all modified. I think that I might be having internet issues for real, for real. Alexa, play Spotify. I can't tell because my iPad weird. And so is my, like, are y'all with me? Like, TikTok, are you, is everybody here? Like, if you can hear me, let me know. Because I don't know if my internet's being wonky or like what's going on. So sorry. Are we good? Can y'all? Oh, you mailed my Christmas card. CD Cardio Queen. I've lost over 280 pounds in my weight loss journey. I had at one point in time weighed over 500 pounds. And what happened is I had lost around 200 pounds, injured my left ankle, and I knew that I was going to need some form of cardio. So that's when I created the CD Cardio athlete. I'm not a personal trainer. I'm just somebody that has lost over 280 pounds, and I'm just here to share what I know because after injuring myself, I needed cardio. I wanted cardio. So I created high intensity interval training seated cardio workout sessions, and today is modified. Now, again, whenever I say, I'm so glad that you guys can hear me. Thank you for letting me know because I was freaking out. But anyways, the reason why I do Modified Mondays is simply because I know for a fact, coming from over 500 pounds, sometimes it's really hard for us to work out, right? Because I know, at least for myself, I had a really, really big belly. And then I had really, really big thighs. And it was really, really difficult sometimes for like certain exercises to actually be done. So that's one reason why I like to show the Modified Mondays. And also, in addition to the fact that I do have friends that have mobility issues. I do have friends that are in wheelchairs. And I also know what it feels like to be left out, to feel excluded, to be rejected, and to just feel like I don't fit in. So I like to have all-inclusive routines because I feel like everyone deserves to have a place. And that's kind of what we have created here. And I'm not going to get emotional, but like I genuinely care about showing the modifications because I just know the difficulties, okay? Where can I find you? You can get it right down here, all that stuff, okay? But anyways, what we're going to do is we're going to have 14 exercises. We're going to do 3 rounds, and we're going to do each exercise for 30 seconds with a 10-second breather in between each one. So I want you guys to understand in that 30 seconds, I don't care if you do 3, all that I need from you. Like you, and that is about exercise. And that is why I love showing the modifications, because when it comes to our weight loss journeys, it is so, so important to take every little step because every little step matters and it's going to help get you to that end goal. I didn't lose 280 pounds by just doing nothing. I had to find ways to attain the things that I wanted to get. So I had to find modifications. And that's why I'm so passionate about doing what it is that I do, because I want everyone to have access to this kind of stuff. Okay. Like, I'm not a professional, but I know I've put in the work and I've lost the weight, and I just want to help themselves. And it's absolutely free of charge. You tune in at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on either my TikTok, Facebook, or my YouTube. But I'm going to go ahead and let y'all know what our routine is tonight, and then we're going to go over this. And then we're going to go into a cross knee tap, strokers, uppercuts, reach, overhead punches. We're doing skis tonight, and then we're going to have our battle ropes. That's going to be our final exercise. But we, again, will have 14 exercises, 30 seconds per exercise with that 10-second breather in between each one. I'm going to bring YouTube down. But anyways, I'm going to go on ahead and let y'all know I am 5. I don't care what type of chair you have. I recommend the chair wheels. Okay. It's not the safest option, but if you want to risk it, baby, you do it because that's your life. And I'm not going to tell you not to use what you want to use, but I'm just not going to guarantee your safety in the process. But this is just the normal kitchen chair. She's been rocking with me since I started doing seated cardio. So we just thugging it out. Okay. But anyways, what you're going to do is when you do seated cardio, it's really important that you try to sit on the edge of your chair. So you're going to try really, really hard to keep your back off the back of your chair. But I'm going to keep it real. When I first started to do seated cardio, I had to rely on the back of my chair because I didn't have the core strength established yet to stay off the back of my chair. So basically, if you have ever been to take a selfie and look skinny, we've done it, right? I've done it. You've done it. We've all done it. That's what keeping your core tight is, baby. Okay? So we're going to focus on trying to do that. Focus on remembering to breathe. Like, I don't want y'all passing out because you're sucking your belly in to look skinny to take your selfie while you're working out with me, okay? But that's what we're going to do. None of this is going to have any leg engagement. So we're just going to have fun. Make sure y'all stay hydrated. But anyways, let's say one of the exercises is too difficult for you to complete. In that 30-second window, you have to stay moving in that 30-second window. Whatever exercise is at hand, I want to show you just some different modifications. In the you can't complete it within that 30-second window. Guys, I was over 500 pounds. If this is your first day exercising in a really long time, I understand and remember that I struggled to exercise for a solid 30 seconds. All right, like real difficult, but we got to remember to keep moving. So if you need to, just like move your arms or do whatever you need to. Like that's the most important thing because we're not using our legs today. Now, if you want to and you have that ability, then what you can do is seated quick feet. Like this is the absolute easiest exercise that I have in the event you can. But anyways, those I'm going to show you. It's really important to stay moving, doing whatever you need to do. But our first exercise that we have up tonight is going to be our cross punch. You're going to keep your elbows up and back, and then you're just going to cross punch, keeping that core tight, and it's going to engage that upper abdominal region. All right. But I'm going to go on ahead and start my workout tracker. I track mine under the high intensity interval training because that's what we're doing. But I'm going to go on ahead and get our timer, and we're going to go on ahead and get this party going. Thank you guys for tuning in to Modified Monday. Let's get it. But you're going to go at your own pace. You don't have to keep up with me. That's the beauty in this, even though this is exercises that anybody can do. You can literally go at any pace. Because as long as you're trying to be better than what you were yesterday, baby, you got it. But if you're keeping your core tight, again, that's like sucking your belly in to take a selfie, take your breather. That's going to really engage your abs, all right? But up next is going to be our shoulder press. You're going to keep your arms parallel with the floor, 90-degree angle, up, down, up, down. Try to kind of tighten up those muscles so you're engaging it. And we're going to go on ahead and knock it out. We've got 30 seconds. Shoulder press. Let's get it. Now, if you want to use free weights, if you want to use those wrist thingies or resistance bands, you can. I choose not to use anything but myself and my kitchen chair because I want people to know you don't have to have that stuff. I know sometimes we don't have access to the finances to get those things, and that's okay. It doesn't mean that you still can't work out. Take your breather, though. Now, up next is going to be our knee slam. To do that, you're going to be up here and do this number. All right? Really focusing on that oblique. I'm going to show you the advanced versions of this exercise, though, so that when you're here tomorrow, you're not going to freak out. But we got 30 seconds. Knee slam. All right? Now, the more advanced version of this exercise, if you're here tomorrow, is going to look like this. We're going to slam it, okay? Now, there's one more version that I have, and I'm going to let you see it, but this is the most advanced version of this particular exercise. Take your breather. Up next is going to be our jacks, which looks like this. All right. But most of my exercises have multiple versions. This today is always going to be your easiest version to do. We're going to knock out our jacks. We got 30 seconds. Let's get it. So this is the easiest version of my jack. When you're ready to up it a notch, I'm going to show you what that looks like. This is the modification. And then this one is the advanced. But we can work our way up or do whatever you can do. And that's what matters. So take your breather. But I want you all to understand that if you pop in tomorrow, I'm going to be doing all three versions. But we have obliques next, which is a side bend. Or if you want, you can do this number right here where you're kind of touching that ankle. All right. But we've got 30 seconds of obliques. Let's go. So with this one, the advanced version would be knee to elbow. All right. But if you want to be a little extra, you can always do this option. But keep that core nice and tight so that you're really engaging your obliques. All right. You got it. But if you don't know who I am, my name is Nataushia. A lot of people know me, take your breather, as the seated cardio queen. I've lost over 280 pounds, and I simply share my routines free of charge, Monday through Thursday. Up next is going to be our underleg jack. It looks like this. We're going to knock that out for 30 seconds, starting now. But I provide these routines free of charge at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on TikTok, Facebook, and my YouTube account. Okay? So if you ever miss a live or something happens, there's always a recording that you can find. You got it. Let's go. Good job. But welcome to Modified Monday. No leg engagement. Take that breather. Up next is my favorite, the walrus. We're not bringing our hands all the way together like they do, but we're going to go on ahead and do the walrus, okay? We've got 30 seconds. Let's go. But you're trying to keep your arms up and back. This will work your core, your arms, your shoulders, your back, that bra fat area. You got it. Good job. We're almost there. And take that breather, baby. I don't know why that just made me think of Austin Powers. But anyways, up next is a cross knee tap, all right? You're going to go at your own pace. We've got 30 seconds. Let's go. Your own pace is totally fine. Again, remember, this is beginner friendly and low impact. You don't have to keep up with me. Got it. Thank you guys for tuning in on Modified Monday, though. Take your breather. Up next, strokers. Okay. Are we ready? It's time, babes. We got 30 seconds. Let's get it. It's almost like we're swimming, but we're not. Good job. We're almost there. I know it's burning. Take your breather. Up next is uppercuts, all right? Now, if you haven't caught on, Mondays are predominantly arm, all right? Now, if you haven't caught on, Mondays are predominantly arm. But listen, coming from over 500 pounds and being where I'm at now and being able to show you guys that it is possible is everything, because I like showing the baby steps. Take your breather. I like starting you guys out every Monday with the easiest exercises. It makes my heart happy to know that people can find this content and it actually benefit them in a positive way. We have reach next. Okay, we're going to knock that out for 30 seconds. Starting now. Now, I will also let y'all know, in seated cardio, the quicker you try to move, the more it's going to increase your heart rate, which in turn, you're going to burn calories. And shout out to everybody sending me Christmas cards. I'm so excited about our Christmas wall. Like, I have cards from all over right now. And I think that it is so cool. Take your breather. So up next is overhead punch. All right. But we're going to knock that out in 30 seconds. I mean, a few seconds. We got 30 seconds. Let's go. You're going to try to keep your arms up at your chest. You're going to stop around your chest and go up. You're not going to drop super low and come up. All right. You're going to just keep it right here. Almost like you got a speed bag up there. If you know what I'm talking about. You got it. Sometimes I hit myself and that's okay. Take your breather. So up next is ski. Okay. How we doing? We're almost done with round 1 of 3. We have 30 seconds. Let's ski. Try to keep your core tight, all right? Because this is another core exercise. Now, I know a lot of you guys are also from Canada. So I actually from where several people breather. They're in Canada and they can't send it because of the postal strike. But up next is battle ropes. All right, but this one's for Canada. It's simple, but I tried to draw their flag, flower, leaf. It didn't turn out real well. But we got battle ropes for 30 seconds. Starting now. This is our final exercise in round 1 of 3. We are about to start our second round, all right? You got it. Good job. Remember, go at your own pace. You don't have to keep up with me. So don't freak out and be like, you're going so fast. I'm not doing what you're doing. And that's perfectly fine. It's totally okay. Take your breather. But we are moving into round 2. Y'all are killing it, and I'm so proud of you. But while we're in this round, I will break down my weight loss story and my journey and stuff like that, okay? But it's time for us to cross punch. I feel like I got to fix my hair because it's just like going everywhere, but that's okay. We got 30 seconds. Cross punch. Starting now. But again, at my heaviest, I was over 500 pounds. And what I had to do, after I found out, like, I was diagnosed in middle school with PCOS, being insulin resistant and borderline diabetic. But I never ate how I was supposed to. I never really was disciplined enough to do anything about my weight for real. Now, I've done Jenny Craig, Take your breather. I've done Nutrisystem. I've done all the things, Tops, Weight Watchers, Atkins, whatever. But what I never done was I never stayed with something. I would lose some weight. I would treat myself. That treat myself lasts for years, months, whatever, and then here we are. But up next is our shoulder press. We have 30 seconds shoulder press starting now. But I was never consistent. I was never dedicated to just one thing. So I was never successful. But what happened is I started to change my lifestyle in 2021. I started to reduce my carbs, reduce my sugars, increase my water, increase my protein, increase my exercise. And then I started to get some results, right? Well, at this time, take a breather. Long story short, I was facing cancer at one point because if I didn't lose weight, where I have PCOS and I was very much not a regular female, I had precancerous cells in my uterus. But we're going to go on ahead and move into our knee slam. We've got 30 seconds. Let's go. So because of that, doctors were pushing for me. So COVID hits in Kentucky, and I finally applied for the Kentucky COVID Medicaid, and I was approved. So I had two coverages. Take your breather. So anyways, I applied like late April for a bariatric like consult or whatever. We have Jax next. We got 30 seconds of Jax. Let's get it. So approved for the consult. I went in May of 2021. Mind you, at this point, I had already changed my lifestyle. I was essentially doing low carb, high protein, and exercising. So I go to my first consult. They pull all of my information because my medical background was in the records from where I had been on like phentermine and going through all the things when I found out that I had precancerous cells in my uterus or whatever. Take your breather. So they pulled all my weigh-ins because if you don't know, you have to have 6 weigh-ins before you can have a bariatric procedure. At least at my location, that's what you had to do. Now, up next is obliques. We got 30 seconds. Let's get it. So I went and they pulled all of my weigh-ins. So in May, they said, all right, all you got to do is get your psychiatric clearance, your cardiac, your EGD, and like all that stuff. Because they gave you all the paperwork of what you needed in order to attain that procedure. So I did that. Well, at this time, I didn't realize that my health insurance was going to be terminated on June 30th of 2021. Take your breather. So mind you, I'm going to the gym. I'm putting in the work. I'm changing my lifestyle. I'm losing weight. Like literally having a protein shake for breakfast, a protein shake for lunch, and a high dollar salad, I call it, because I had everything. I had meat, cheese, eggs, sunflower seeds, ranch, you name it, it was up in it. But anyways, we're moving into our underleg jacks. We've got 30 seconds of that. Let's go. 2 weeks before June 30th, that's when I found out that my coverage was being terminated. So I called my facility and I was like, hey, like, this is what's up. Like, can I still have my procedure? And they literally said, no, there's nothing that they could do. So I was just like kind of upset, highly upset, actually, like 2 tears upset. Take your breather. So I called my friend that I had at the time. She was like talking to me and stuff because I was supposed to go to Florida because my best friend is a power lifter. So I was supposed to go down. Move into our walruses. We got 30 seconds. Let's go. So my friend at the time told me, she's like, Nataushia, stay in Kentucky, cancel your Florida vacation. She's like, you call the doctor's offices and you try to schedule your appointments. Like, you try to do it. And I was just like, I was kind of mad because I was like, I want to go to Florida. Then I was like, this really is this is my opportunity. So I was like, all right, cool. Like, I let my friend know, like, hey, I can't come. So I didn't. So I stayed in Kentucky. Take your breather. I called the doctor's offices. Thankfully, at the time, with my therapist, because I was in therapy to deal with all my PTSD and like all the trauma that I've had from all the situations I've been through. So up next is going to be our cross knee taps. We got 30 seconds. Let's go. So I called my therapist up and I was like, hey, like I have to have a psychiatric clearance to have this procedure. Like, do you feel like I'm mentally stable enough to actually have this procedure? She was like, girl, yeah, like I'll write you off. So she, like day one, I didn't even have to go in for the consult. She like sent it right over to my bariatrics office. So like I checked that one off. I had my final weigh-in already scheduled. And then I had to call and schedule my EGD, take a breather. And that's where they do a scope of like your esophagus and go down into your stomach to see everything. So I had scheduled my EGD and then I had to schedule my clearance. We're going to go on ahead and move into our strokers. We've got 30 seconds. So I literally was calling the doctor's offices trying to get my appointment scheduled. Like I was in tears on the phone, like explaining my situation to the doctor's offices because my bariatrics office at the time literally was doing nothing for me. Like they said I would not be able to do any of this. But I contacted the hospital and like contacted the insurance company. And I already had my appointment like scheduled or whatever. Take your breather. So I went and done all that. Went to my final weigh-in actually. And I know this is like super fast. My whole story is actually on my Facebook page. It's time for our uppercuts. We've got 30 seconds. Let's go. But I went to my final weigh-in. I'd already done all the things, have my EGD, cardiac clearance. Like literally all I had to do was weigh in and go get my stomach cut open. That was literally it. So I lost like 30 or 40 pounds within a month because I was putting in the work, having that protein shake for breakfast and then lunch, and then that big salad at dinner. But I lost like 30 or 40 pounds. And I was like, oh my gosh, like that's so cool. Like that's awesome. So my surgeon comes in, take your breather, and is reading my charts and looks up and he's like, all right, well, you're going to have to lose more weight. So like I bug-eyed. I was like, well, then I guess I'm not going to have this surgery. I said, my coverage is up on the 30th this month. I said, I can't do it no more. I was like, I can't. So we're going to go on ahead and move into our reach. We have 30 seconds of reach starting now. So he literally leaves me in the room, which my room was right behind the secretary's desk. So he goes up to the secretary's desk. I thought I already had my appointment scheduled for surgery. So he was like, Nataushia. And they were like, she's already scheduled for the 30th. So he looked at me and he was like, go lay back down on the bed so that I can feel your stomach. Mind you, I'm still over 440 pounds at this point. Take your breather. So I lay on the bed and he's feeling my stomach. And he was like, I can't do anything more than the gastric sleeve on you. He said, if I do anything more, he said, I can't guarantee you're going to make it. I was like, bet. Well, I didn't say it like that. I was like, that's perfect. That's all that I want. So up next is our overhead punches. We have 30 seconds. Overhead punch. Starting now. So I was like, cool. Like, that's great. Like, that's the one that I want. Like, I don't want the bypass. I don't want anything else. I just want the sleeve, because the sleeve is where they just remove a portion of your stomach. Because, guys, I can sit down and eat 2 pizzas by myself and dessert and cheese sticks. And not the pizza kind, like the kind that's in the deep fryer with the cheese sticks. But anyways, I got the gastric sleeve or whatever. That's what I was approved for. Take your breather. But do y'all think that was the end of my hurdles? That's why I say I don't believe in excuses. No matter the circumstance of any situation. If you want something bad enough, you're going to go after it. So anyways, he clears me and he's like, all right, cool. Like, you can have the surgery. Let's do our skis. So I go surgery. I was denied at registration. I'm in tears. I'm freaking out. I was, because they were like, your insurance isn't going to cover it. But I knew I had 2 insurances. So I was like, okay, which one is it on? And come to find out, they had placed it under the wrong insurance. Take a breather. So I sat in the waiting room because they were like, we're going to have to work on this. Like, go out there. I sat in the waiting room, y'all, and I thought that I was like spending my lifetime. Like, I don't even know how to explain it, but it was awful. But I finally got to have my procedure. Like, finally. We're going to move into our battle ropes. This is our last exercise in round 2 of 3. We are about to go into our third and final round. We've got 30 seconds, battle rope. But anyways, I used my tool. I followed my surgeon's guidelines. I went 1 week clear liquid only, and then I went full liquids for the next week. After that, I went to the pureed stage. After that, I went to the soft food stage, and then I was in my stabilization phase. It took me 5 weeks before I could eat real food again, like real food. So I used my tool. I journaled every single bit of my journey. Take your breather. The first year, we're moving into our third and final round, okay? But that's one thing that I did my whole first year. I journaled. I had weight loss rewards in my journal for myself. I would track my emotions. I would track what I ate. We're doing our cross punch for 30 seconds, starting now. But anything that I did and I felt the need to journal it, I journaled it. I had like all of these motivational quotes throughout my journal. I actually still have it. It's in storage at my mom's. But that's something that helped me throughout my journey. And then also posting, obviously, on my social media accounts to hold me accountable. And then it just so happened in that process, this happened. Take your breather. Because I've literally tracked my entire weight loss journey on my social media platforms. So I did it to hold myself accountable. That's why right now I'm sharing this. Like, if you don't have something to hold you accountable, find it or create it. We got 30-second shoulder press, because I know a lot of people are like, well, I'm scared to do that. I have people that'll judge me. I have people that literally would see me in public and be like, oh my gosh, all you do is post about your journey. All you do is post about being in the gym and eating healthy. Yes, I do. This is my page. This is my accountability. So it's like, keep doing what you need to do to help you get to where you need to go. Because I promise you are worth it. Whew. But that's what I've done. And then I got injured. Like, I injured myself because I lost a lot of weight. And I had like this insane surge of energy. We're going to go into our knee slam. We got 30 seconds starting now. All right. But I had that super insane surge of energy. So I kept running. And me being a former athlete, I thought my ankle burning was normal. I was like, oh, well, I'm just working out. I haven't worked it out in a while. Like, I usually never ran because I was a thrower in college. I was not a runner. So I was like, okay, whatever. Well, I actually ended up really injuring myself. Breather. So I couldn't obviously do cardio on my legs because I was having to go to the chiropractor, get adjustments, and working through therapy, trying to get my ankle back to where it wasn't killing me. So up next is going to be our jacks. We've got 30 seconds of jacks. Let's get it. So at that time, being the former athlete and the person that I am with the no excuses, I was like, okay, there has to be another way. So I started to try and find seated that I knew that I had found. But what I've done along the way is knowing and remembering how it was when I was over 500, 400, 300 pounds. I do modifications because I want everyone to have access to something this simple and this beneficial if you choose to utilize it. But we're going to move into our obliques. We've got 30 seconds of obliques starting now. But I'm not a personal trainer. I'm not anything of that nature. But what I am is a girl that lost over 280 pounds, got injured, and still found a way to lose weight and get in cardio. Now, I still walk. I do things outside of city cardio now, but this is my main form of exercise. But we're going to go ahead and move into our underleg jacks. We have 30 seconds of underleg jacks. Start now. But I will let y'all know my macros. I've only protein. I'm not a math in that. You have your total carbs, your dietary fiber, your sugars, your sugar allulose, your ethanol, all that stuff. You have to add and subtract all of that stuff, all right? So you're going to have to go to Google to get a better explanation, okay? But we're going to move into our walruses. And I don't say it to be mean, but it's so much easier sometimes for some people to visually see all of that. Because like for me to sit here and be like flapping my arms and saying it is like different. But that's what I've done. And then I try to drink anywhere from like a half gallon to 2 gallons of water a day, depending on how I'm doing. I can't always take a breather because I'll try to drink as much water as I possibly can. Like, we got 30 seconds. Let's go. Now, again, how I eat and how I live may not work for you, but it might work for somebody else, you know, because again, I do have PCOS and I am insulin resistant. I do eat a lot of the same things, but I have found a lot of really cool alternatives that do work for me. I don't eat pasta. On the regular, I rarely treat myself to something like that. But instead of spaghetti noodles, I use French style green beans, but I kind of fry it down with a bunch of seasonings, Italian seasoning, and we're going to move into our strokers. We've got 30 seconds of strokers starting now. But the way that I do my green beans, because it's the French style, the stringy kind, I will use like garlic powder, onion powder, you know, the staples, some Slap Your Mama, some like lots of Italian seasoning. I like to sometimes throw in minced garlic if I have it. And then like I kind of fry all of the juice out of it and put some butter, of course. And then I cook my meat, add the sauces, add some cheese, and that's my spaghetti. Take your breather, because that takes out the carb. Where my body will not break down carbs as a normal person's will, that's what I have to do for me. But again, you don't got to do what I do. I just don't like palmini. I don't like the alternative. But I love to try and wise, because I remember and just being blind. I was, what am I doing? So I've had to do research myself, and I've had to teach myself and play with things and see what's good and what ain't going to work for me. But I want to take a breather. I want 30 seconds of reach starting now. Because literally there is no price tag that can be placed on non-scale victories, in my opinion. I remember not being able to fly on an airplane. I remember sitting down and breaking so many pieces of furniture because I was too big. I can remember having to go to Mexican restaurants and not being able to sit on the steel patio furniture because I was so big, and I would have to ask for special seats from inside. So it's like, for people to get non-scale victories, and y'all like inbox me and be like, take your breather. And y'all be telling me like, I can go to a baseball game and sit there for the first time. I can put on a pair of jeans for the first time. I can take a bath for the first time. You can't put a 30 seconds starting now. But I'm very passionate about sharing what I know and what I do. I'm not perfect. I'm human. I make my mistakes. Lord knows it. But one thing I do know is I want to help other people, because that's what makes my heart happy. And I feel like, in a sense, seated cardio is a part of my purpose.